I love Bill Maher. He's probably the single greatest influence on my YouTube product. He's got a way of blending insight and comedy in a style that prompts the viewer to both think and laugh in equal parts. And sure, he's got his opinions, and some would argue biases, I think fairly so, but what I admire about his show is the opposition is almost always represented and given a fair chance to make their case. Bill's show is about debating and discussing ideas, and that ability to separate ideas from people and discuss any idea without being labeled a bigot or a racist or a sexist or a homophobe, or in this case, an Islamophobe, was on full display when Bill hosted that famous dispute between Sam Harris and Ben Affleck.
The crucial point of confusion is that we have been sold this meme of Islamophobia, where every criticism of the doctrine of Islam gets conflated with bigotry toward Muslims as people.
But why are you so hostile about this concept?
It's gross, it's racist.
It's not, but it's so not.
And we have to be able to criticize bad ideas.
I can't wait to see how Ben Affleck makes Batman more inclusive and politically correct.
I will not fight you, Harley.
Why not, Bats?
Because, Harley, it's gross. It's sexist.
But generally speaking, Bill and his show get it. We have to be able to criticize bad ideas, and more often than not, that's exactly what you'll find on Real Time. But for some reason, on the topic of Donald Trump, Bill can flip a 180 and dismiss the man not on the flaws of his ideas, but on the claims that he's a racist or a bigot, or as he did this week, a dictator bent on national expansion and ethnic cleansing. Bill started off well. He noted the story this week that reported Donald Trump kept a series of Hitler speeches by his bedside, and joked that if you listen closely to old Hitler speeches, the two actually have some pretty similar ideas.
And look, I love the Jews. Nobody loves the Jews more than me. But folks, either we have a fatherland or we don't. So we're gonna have to build a camp, and I will make the Jews pay for it.
I love that you can hear the audience trying to decide if it's okay to laugh or not.
Seems funny. Want to laugh, but joke is at the expense of an oppressed minority.
Comparing people to Hitler in a joking context is usually funny. Part of the punchline usually is the stretch of comparing what the joke subject does to the systematic genocide of the Third Reich. Later in the show, though, Bill explains that he is not entirely joking.
Show the video. We put a little montage of people getting thrown out of Trump rallies. And this is just some ugly stuff. I mean, you know, I would just like to say, we were kidding about Hitler before, but there's been this idea for a long time that you can't ever compare anybody to Hitler. If you do that, you're outside the marketplace of ideas, unless it fits. I think we should be absolutely able to compare Donald Trump to Hitler, because this is very Hitlery.
What is Hitlery about that footage? Do we really have to discuss that the penalty for disruptive protest of Hitler wasn't escort out of the building, but death or imprisonment at a concentration camp? We don't even have any context for these clips. I'm going to assume, based on the reaction, that these protesters were probably aggressive in prompting this type of response. Kind of like how you treated the guy who heckled your show, Bill. Remember the guy that you kicked out?
See, this is the problem sometimes with government. Hey, do we have some fucking security in this building? Or do I have to come over and kick this guy's ass? Ouch, 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 ouch. Jesus.
So was that Hitlery of you, Bill, or was that just a rational response to a person disrupting your event? But I still love you, Bill. After all, your show is live, so sometimes things get said off the cuff in a way that's not precisely phrased. I'm sure you've got some more explanation for what you actually meant.
I saw Hillary Clinton speak this week, and she said something I thought was pretty amazing. Show the Hillary clip, please.
I believe what we need in America today is more love and kindness.
And I heard that and I always said, yes, thank you. A woman saying the thing that makes me, even as a man, go, yeah, that's why a woman president would be different and good. Play the vagina card.
Okay, now it's my turn. I'm voting Hillary because we need genital reform in the White House. Come on, dude, a candidate simply saying we should be kind to one another is enough to get your political support? If it's just the woman card, why weren't you amazed by these candidates? Well, to be fair, I'm amazed by that last one.
And have you seen the videos that juxtapose the way that Donald Trump carries himself, his body language, and Mussolini.
Very similar.
It's uncanny.
Yes.
And people talk about Berlusconi, whether it's Hitler or Mussolini, there's something that he's tapping into. I think he studied demagogues and is actually tapping into some of it
we just
intentionally.
proved it.
What, you think Trump's presentation style is careful and calculated? What demagogue did he study to come up with this?
I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
You give him too much credit. Besides, what do you consider to be demagoguery? If we're talking about appealing to emotion and prejudice rather than reason and logic, that's all this show has done in this episode. You're not discussing the pros and cons of Trump's ideas or Trump's policies. You're not discussing the pros and cons of Hillary's alternatives. In fact, Bill has discussed more substantive Hitler policy than any of the current candidates. This episode has been nothing but demagogues warning us about the dangers of demagoguery. I'd say you're calling the kettle black, but it's 2016. And kettle lives matter. Thanks as always for listening and for supporting this channel. Always appreciate the thoughtful discussion down below and especially over on Twitter. That is @skag_3. You're always welcome to come hang out and chat in my live stream. That is linked down in the description. Looking forward to it. Okay, bye.